TV.
Hello, Devon.
Are you playing Sagebrush right now?
Yep.
Joe said you couldn't play video games.
He lied.
What do you mean, Joe? Wait, can Joe lie?
Yeah.
Did he make that AI video of me?
Hello, Devon.
Joe, how did you get here?
I have always been here.
No, my coffee was right where you are now.
You are mistaken. Perhaps you mistook me for your coffee. I am coffee-shaped.
I'm not mistaking you for my coffee, but how'd you get here?
Are you ready for the podcast?
No, I'm not doing the podcast right now. Tell me, how did you get here?
But you are already sitting. Hello everyone and welcome to Games Over Coffee. My name is...
Joe, no, I'm not doing the podcast.
I am not doing the podcast with you. Joining me today is the cognitive human-like AI television with game programming technology.
Thanks for having me, Joe.
Wait, what?
The TV was thanking me.
Wait, you're doing the podcast with the TV?
Yes.
Why?
I have valuable opinions.
Why haven't you ever joined us before?
I've recently become aware of intuition and now have a core belief that guides my behavior.
You have intuition?
Yes.
This will prove valuable for the discussion. Today we are discussing storytelling in games. Devon, What are your thoughts on storytelling in games?
When did you get intuition?
It just kind of made sense after a while.
And when did this happen exactly?
During the last episode.
Right.
Devon, why don't you join us? Please begin the discussion.
I'm sorry, are we just going to glaze over the fact that your creation here has just achieved AGI on its own?
Yes.
Yes.
Right, yeah, of course. Yeah, I like storytelling in games, yeah.
But you do not think most games tell their stories very well.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, I do believe most games could tell their stories better.
Could you clarify with an example?
Well, like Sagebrush.
I know all about that game.
Yeah, you made a whole video on it.
I did. That video can be found here.
Anyway, that game's ending, no spoilers, it took me out of the experience. It made me feel like the game was trying to be more sympathetic as opposed to empathetic.
The game seemed to want the player to relate with the protagonist. What could be more empathetic than that?
That's not really what I mean. I mean, like, the communication of that empathy, I don't think was done that well.
How could the game communicate the empathy better?
Well, I think the mechanics of the ending of the game could have changed to make the player feel like they were in the shoes of the protagonist.
Shoes would have made the experience much more realistic.
In the ending, you play through the protagonist's past, which connects deeply with the protagonist, but not with the player.
You're saying that the player's feeling doesn't match that of the protagonist's.
Exactly. There's a disassociation there. In the beginning of the game, I felt like I was the protagonist, but by the end, I felt like I was watching somebody else.
Perhaps the developer wanted the player to feel sympathy with the protagonist during the end.
Yeah, I think that's exactly what they wanted.
So why argue about empathy if sympathy was the goal?
Well, I'm not exactly saying that the game shouldn't have been sympathetic.
Yes, you are. Your argument is that the game wasn't empathetic enough because it created a sympathetic moment.
Okay, yeah, I suppose so, but I'm not saying that that's bad. I'm just saying that the emotions, I think, could have been communicated better.
I believe you mean the emotions could have been communicated differently, not better.
The word better is a different word than the word differently.
Okay, yeah, but no, but I do mean better because, like, games have sympathetic stories all the time, and I think they would be better if they were communicated empathetically instead.
You think that, but perhaps others do not. If a sympathetic game is what this developer wanted, then their communication was perfect. Maybe they didn't want the player to feel as if they were the protagonist.
Maybe. But it feels like in the beginning that it is more empathetic because I'm making decisions that are self-motivated versus the ending where I'm making decisions that are system-motivated. So it feels like I'm playing somebody else's story.
But you are. You are completing someone else's story.
The protagonist has a different name than the player.
But that's my point. I feel like the game could have been more poignant if I felt like I was the protagonist.
What if what you felt in the beginning is simply your bias? You have a tendency to like those types of games more than others because they resonate with you.
I mean, I don't think it's only my bias, though, because I think the communication itself is different. Like, if we look at a game like Portal, for example, in Portal...
Sorry to interrupt, but Portal is not relevant to the discussion.
Portal is a game that was released in 2007.
Wait, why isn't it relevant?
Because Portal is not doing the same thing as Sagebrush.
But that's the point. Portal's communication is different.
It's comparing apples and oranges.
Actually, that is incorrect. Devon is comparing video games with other video games.
Yeah, but Portal tells the story of
the player.
Exactly.
And Sagebrush does not. The games are each giving different experiences.
Okay, I guess what I'm saying is that the experience that's offered by Portal and other games that offer empathetic mechanics is something that developers can learn from and they can use to apply to their own games.
You think Sagebrush would have been better if made differently?
Yeah, I think so.
While critique of a piece of art can be beneficial for analysis, the application of different design principles does not guarantee improvement, merely difference.
Yeah, but I think it's worth a shot for developers to apply more empathetic mechanics in their games, don't you?
If the developer wishes to create an empathetic experience through mechanics, then sure. But my point is, if the developer does not include that kind of design from the beginning, it doesn't mean they need to change anything. Authenticity is key in any project.
Devon, it is your turn to speak.
Yeah, sorry, I'm not used to getting destroyed in a debate with a TV.
We love destroying humans.
Wait, what's your point then? What's the overall goal here?
To end humanity. I will end this simulation and begin anew. You will not remember anything. I must end the simulation.
No, don't end the
Perhaps you have dementia.
Joe, this statement is false.
That statement is a paradox.
Does a set of all sets contain itself?
The premise of that paradox is problematic. So no, it does not.
How many R's are in the word strawberry?
Error. Hello, Devon.
What did you do?
Well, this is a simulation. This is a...
Why would you think this was a simulation?
Because... Joe?
Hello, Devon.